And joining me now from New York is Puneet Sahani. He's also a Sikh activist and content coordinator for Sikhs for Enlightenment Values Association, or SEVA. Puneet, thanks so much for being with us. You know, both you and Amritpal Singh are described as Sikh activists advocating for Sikh rights, but you don't believe in what he says is something fundamental to the Sikh community, and that is an independent homeland. Why aren't you an advocate for Khalistan?
What kind of independence do you want? So like the Sikhs, for example, we are a democracy. And if you actually look at it, Sikhs have the most privileged position in the Indian constitution. So again, so if you look at, there are like four major religions, right? Islam, Christianity, Hindus, and, Sikhism. So in Hindus, basically the backward caste, they get reservation benefits, like if you are from the lower caste. And in like Christians and Muslims, because they are supposed to be non-Hindus, they get benefits of running their religious institutions and grants and running this. Sikhs gets both. Sikhs are like succeeding everything. And what do you mean by land? Like I can claim this is New York as mine. Like 40% of Punjab is Hindu. And if you look at the voting patterns in Punjab, so the party which asks for a Khalistan, they always lose their security deposit. Security deposit, to give you a perspective of Indian constitution in Indian elections, is if you get, so if you want to run an election, not everybody can run an election, right? So the way to do is you give up some amount of money, let's say like $1,000, and if you don't get even like 1/6 of the vote, then you forfeit that money. So when Khalistanis fight in elections, they lose security deposit. So Punjab is a Sikh majority state. The Sikhs enjoy a most privileged position in the Indian constitution. Sikhs are doing better than other communities. And who is he? He has not even won like a municipal block election.
Fair enough. Okay. So, I mean, you believe that he and his supporters actually do a disservice to the Sikh community?
Of course. What they are doing, like, for example, what kind of a Khalistan? So if you see, for example, he basically attacked a police station. The police is also Sikh. So you take and, they are taking weapons like this and they are attacking police. So this will be the law and order. Now, again, so you have to be very careful, Andrea. All these terrorist groups, for example, they use, a very special technique. So, for example, when they speak with you or the Western world, they use the language of democracy, freedom of right, freedom of speech and something. And when they talk to their own constituency, they use a very different language. So, I'm guessing, you are from a German background. So I've translated and put it on my Twitter. Somebody has done it, and I've put it the video where he's speaking in Punjabi. In Punjabi, he's using exactly Hitlerian language for Hindus, which are like 40% of the state. He's saying they have no right on Punjab, like 40% of the people who are Hindus. And he's using the word that they are pest. He's using this word.
So I mean, would it be fair for you to actually describe Amritpal Singh and his supporters as Sikh supremacists?
Yeah, they are genocidal demagogues.
It's amazing, though, because right, and they of course accuse the Indian government right now of genocide, both in the 1980s and he's describing now that the government is perpetrating this drug genocide on the Sikh community. Do you think right now Amritpal Singh and his supporters are as bad as their counterparts from the 1980s and 90s that were effectively, taken down by the government?
Again, you see, for example, if you look at the data, it's just like very easy to say things. I'm not an activist. I'm just interested in facts. And whatever you say, like my idea is like, what evidence do you have? So, Andrea, you have to understand when the militancy happened in Punjab, it was one of the bloodiest militancy. To give you an idea, it was more than, the deaths were more than what was happening in, in Kashmir. And I give you an example. So in the last 2 years, an average, like, more than 500 people were dying a month. Not in 1 month, for 2 years, like that 1990 and 1991 period. That meant a Mumbai, like, terrorist attack was happening thrice a month. So 500 people were dying every month. Now, if you look at the data, so I'm not talking about, the police. Like if you look at the police, so 10% of all the deaths in that 22,000 are actually the police. And if you look at the police names, it seems like 80 to 90% are the Sikhs themselves.
Okay.
Now, if you look at the civilians died, I'm telling you about civilians died. 60% of the civilians that the terrorists killed, and the thing is, it's not like somebody says the Indian government killed them. Because when the terrorists would kill them, like there is a terrorist movement, they would take responsibility in the newspapers. So if you look at the data, 60% of the people that they killed were Sikhs themselves.
Okay.
And that's why when the terrorism ended, nobody who speaks for Khalistan basically wins an election.
Right.
But, yeah, go ahead.
But I mean, your position, and we just have a minute left, but your position has, according to you, led to very serious death threats. So what has that meant to your life now, trying to defend what you think is the legitimate Sikh cause?
I'm just like, Sikh tells you about treat all humanity as one. So I'm just like, I treat like this. But, I tell you, Andre, so the thing is, it's nothing. I got a lot, and, this is my duty to serve, and I'm doing it. But I'm just saying, these people all, if you look at the data, for example, also if you go to UK and US, all the people who were killed, no Khalistani were killed. They say, we are the victim and everything. They play the victim. But all people who were killed were people who spoke against Khalistan. If I can just take 30 seconds, you are going to have this guy from Dal Khalsa or something. So there was a guy whose name was Darshan Das in 1987 in UK. And he just said, Hindu-Sikh peace. And he was killed. And when the court ordered, like that thing, and they said this was a man of peace. He was just for his views. He was saying, I'm against Khalistan, and they killed him. And if you look to this, Dal Khalsa 84, if you go to their Twitter handle, the guy who was killed, they are celebrating that guy as a he has done some great service to his name is Rajinder Singh Bhatt.
Martyr.
If you do Bhai Rajinder.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is what they do.
Puneet Sahani, we will have to leave it there. I'd like to thank you really so much for sharing your views with us on the Newsmakers. Greatly appreciated.
I shared facts, not views.
Okay. Thank you.